स्पीकर कहाँ है? नहीं तो दे.
Hi there.
Hi, Sophie. How are
Hi,
you?
my dear. I'm good. I'm good.
You look good also. Your hairstyle. Finally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So almost a full week of um, writing,
Acha. Okay,
and
you are writing. Okay.
yes, I'm writing every day, and I'm
Oh,
trying to get this to not overheat. I'm in the car again, my office. Let's see. I'm trying to not cover up the microphone, still be able to talk to you. Okay, let's see how that works for a minute. Yeah, if I write in the morning when I'm not tired, I tend uh to write more. If I don't do it till evening, I write something, but not more than just a word, but less in the evening. But anyway, I've written every day. Today's my last day, I guess, and I start with the details and the sensory stuff, the feelings and that part of it.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's going okay. It's going fine.
So how much are you writing every day?
Yeah, I've written something every day.
So how much per day? 1 page, 2 page?
Probably at least 2 pages every day.
Wow. So how
I
many
put
lines that is?
uh well,
How
I'll
many
show you.
sentences? Okay.
Wait a minute.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, I write big, but this was is today the 6th? Is today the 6th? Or was yesterday's the 6th? This was so I just did one page yesterday, but this is the last couple days.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I'm just writing what feels like has to come out. I'm not forcing it.
Yes,
Uh,
that is the clue. That is the trick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Not so much came out since the when last Monday when I talked to you. There was a lot that came out about the house and safety and all that kind of stuff, and um, not so much, if any, since then came out about hunting for the house and all of that kind of stuff. So I guess between trying and writing, I got it out for now. Um, I did. I did start. I went to a spiritualist church yesterday called
Okay.
Church of the Angel. They always give messages from beyond, from spirit. People stand up front and give messages to other people about the downloads they get from different people and entities. And so that was very interesting. And a guy came through, a man named Jeff, and he was the nephew of my daughter-in-law who died about a month ago. And he came through and said, and people, he was only 43, but he said through this woman that that he was up to here with stuff. He was in overwhelm, and people didn't know that. People in his life didn't know that. So he took advantage of the opportunity to leave the planet. And no kidding, I happened to be in Indianapolis when the funeral happened, and there were hundreds of people at this man's funeral. I've never been to a funeral um, with so many people. He was very well liked, and I'm not sure I'm going to tell Christine. The woman that did the passing on of the message said, um, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to tell her that. I'm not sure. She went to a psychic fair herself a couple weeks ago, and maybe she got a message from him herself. I'm not sure. But I met a lot of interesting people over the weekend. Um, that some of them I wrote about, or some of the situations I wrote about. Um, I felt a good connection with this man that was a Vietnam vet. He's a little younger than me, I think. I'm guessing he's maybe in his late 60s. But he happened to have the Ho'opono prayer on the back of one of his, of a metal, um, a little metal thing he had hanging around his neck. Do you know that Hawaiian prayer?
No.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono, I know. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was so cool because he, it was a piece of metal about that big, very thin. On the front, it had the name of the battalion I think he fought in Vietnam. And on the back, it had the Ho'opono prayer. And I said, "Oh, I know what that is. It's the Ho'opono prayer." And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Too bad you didn't have it with you when you were over there, right?" But
Mm-hmm.
this guy, on his dog tags, that all service people have to wear to identify their bodies if something happens. He was a Sufi. He identified as a Sufi, which you don't find very often. So I probably will see him again tonight. There's a gathering at one of the universities here, a Catholic university here in town called John Carroll University, and he and some of the people from church yesterday um, are going to be there. So uh, during a spiritualist church ceremony, they do usually healings at the back. And this guy that I'm telling you about, his name's Steve, he does angel healings. So I guess he brings angels in. And then on Friday, last Friday, I went, this is all tied together somehow. I don't exactly know how. On Friday, I went to the same church. There was a man named David Munson, and he wrote a book called Wandering with Nathaniel. And I went partly because my one son's name is Nathan, and there were just maybe six of us there. And what I learned was he wrote the book because Nathaniel was the angel that's been following him all through his life, keeping him safe.
Oh.
When this woman angel shows up, he doesn't know her name. He's in real trouble when she shows up. And he
Mm-hmm.
almost drowned once. And he and some of his friends fortunately got out of a baseball dugout right before it collapsed, right before the cement collapsed. So his book is very interesting and very insightful. Um, about the subtitle is basically getting, bringing humanity, bringing more of humanity out, and making us be conscious and aware. Um, and I think the discussion tonight at the university is going to be about the chaos in the world and how people are getting through it. What techniques they're doing to get through it. So it'll be pretty interesting, I think. so
Yeah.
so that was my weekend. I met a lot of interesting folks, made some really good connections. Um, what else did I do? Oh, I had some time to read and to download. So I talked to Austin. No, I talked to him on Thursday. Yeah, I talked to Austin, my youngest son, on Thursday. He's okay with his divorce. He knew it was. I mean, he and Hannah had talked about it, so that makes me feel good. She didn't just you know surprise him with what she was going to do. So she filed. He's applied at a big hardware store for a job, which is major. because he hasn't worked for a big, he hasn't worked for somebody else in years, in years. So this is going to be a lot maybe of him being on his feet. We'll see how his body does with that. So that was good news. I think he only has one or two friends in town in Alderson, and I think it will help him to get out if his body can stand, being on his feet. It's part-time, so we'll see how he does. But that was good to know. So how about with you? What's been going on with you?
So I have been going through a very, very busy time right now, Sophie,
Mm-hmm.
because no law, since last how many years I have been trying to establish this coaching, and suddenly so many ideas have come up to serve. No,
Mm,
it is not about the money, it is about serving people.
yes.
So, uh, so that is what I'm doing, and suddenly that realization has come because no, I always am kind of hesitated whenever it is kind of money related thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot bring that subject in, and I didn't want that subject to be in till I'm comfortable. And I was kind of trying to uh, understand why that money block is there while asking for money.
Yeah.
So one of the reason was my service is not good enough. So that is why I'm not feeling confident to ask
Okay.
money. One of the reason is that. But you know, when I speak one to one with anybody, I can channel the solution right to them.
Yep.
So it is the same kind of service I'm offering. So how can it not be good enough? So it is good enough. So then I'm yet to explore what are other blocks in my mind. You know, it is
Uh-huh.
all in the head. And
Absolutely.
because the writing thing that we are doing, no, while I suggested, it came to my head only only 4 days before I suggested it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And in 3 days, I have recorded whatever I have recorded. The outline is already there. So 32
Great.
episodes I have recorded. So all have been done in 3 days' time. And after that, I have also started writing, no, on my own as to why. So the difficulties and the anger and the hatred and the jealousy, all these are toxic habits. So those are the things I wanted to write about. Why those are there?
Mm,
What is the useful benefits of having all those? How it is kind of no, it has established. It have all those have been established in my mind with what
yeah.
kind of identity in me, what kind of belief system that I have, all those
Yep.
things, no?
Yep.
And
I get.
and and suddenly, while I was writing, I saw I am afraid of big numbers. Can you imagine?
Oh,
And I can't see the no any connection to it about having all those habits, and it is kind of appeared very funny. Just because I'm afraid of numbers, all those habits are there. Not feeling confident is one of them. And because I don't feel confident, I am jealous. And if I am jealous, then it is not doing any good to me.
right.
Where from this fear of numbers have come? But
Yeah.
that is what has come while I was writing. No, right now I have forgotten how that link has been established. Now, while visualizing, what happened was I was looking at my higher self, the dream self that I want to attain. You know,
Mm, mm-hmm.
now that self, what it is doing, she is, uh, uh, she's just kind of getting into a big hall and with all her splendor. And she is standing in front of a huge crowd. The crowd is waiting to listen to her. And what she is going to deliver is that her life is about service. And she effortlessly channels the solution. No,
This
she,
is the you. This is the you that you're visualizing.
yes, me
Okay.
visualizing as my better self. No,
Yeah.
that is what.
Yeah.
So just before that, there is a self-doubt in me saying that what if that flow doesn't come uh, to me when it matters? Like I'm standing in front of all those numbers, and that is a doubt of me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the doubt of my future self. So I'm blocking my vision because I have a lot of doubt right now within me. So how that thought came to me, I think, is because when there are, say, suppose 10 people in a discussion and all of them are discussing something, I kind of tend to listen to it rather than respond to any of that. So, suppose
Mm-hmm.
you say, it is not with you, by the way, because I have a certain comfort level with you. The moment you ask me question, I can I can think of something or whatever
Mm-hmm.
is going inside my mind, it comes automatically. But when there are people
Yeah.
and I know them also, but I'm not 100% comfortable with each of them, then
Yep.
this doubt comes.
Yep. I'm the same way.
Yeah. So so that means it is not that big a problem. It is very small problem. But I discovered that, and I'm still kind of uh, thinking over it.
Mm-hmm.
And when people and also the response also when people are uh, expressing so much, I can also feel the same way. But I won't volunteer to express in that group. You know
Yep.
that is the hesitation.
Do
Yeah,
I can I tell you why I think I do it, and maybe it's the same for you?
yeah,
I I'm basically an introvert.
yeah,
Introvert, and maybe you are too.
yes,
So I would much rather do one-on-one. If I'm talking about my art, something that I'm very, very confident in, then it's a different story. Then I could talk forever. But I think it basically happens for me because I'm an introvert as opposed to an extrovert. What do you think about that?
yes. The same is true for me also. But there is a bit of uh, thought process in there, Sophie, because there can be a possibility of me being an introvert and I'm experiencing so much, but maybe I'm downplaying the other person's ability to
Mm-hmm.
to to uh, to feel the same way and the same amount of feeling that I have, even more.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm downplaying that because it also creates a resistance and creates a wall between that person and me. Because in this kind of discussion, when we are going very open about opening up all our layers one by one, we are not we are not different from each other, right? We all are
Mm-hmm.
the same. We all are one in that. Maybe there is some resistance uh, there to not to open. And I'm still, maybe you can help me out. uh, this is my thought process. And again, as I say, uh, I tend to kind of self-criticize myself very often. You
Yeah.
know, if I am not criticizing myself, I'm angry at something. And today I was thinking of my parents, and I was angry about so many things, so many decisions that they took about me,
Yeah.
and I was very angry about that at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And um, the this group discussion happens. I'm in that group because that group actually talks about being honest, honest and true to oneself.
Mm-hmm.
And during that discussion, the girl who was listening to me, she said the same anger I experienced some time back towards my parents as well. But I made peace with that by mm, focusing on what all good things that they have done for me.
Yeah.
That is obvious. So there are
The gra- so you used gratitude.
gratitude. And obviously, the person that I am now, it is because of them. No, whatever decisions they took about
Sure.
me, how they have raised me, and because of those kind of decisions that they took, the circumstances because of that, all that have made me the one that I'm now. So that is the gratitude that she has felt.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, expressing it to you, not yet feeling it.
Okay.
So till I feel it, no, I'm going to be angry. Um,
What what if I mean I understand we all are pissed off at our parents at times and then we all look at the positive side of it. But what you're leaving out and what I often leave out is the self-love of saying because you didn't become you totally because of your parents. You, the spirit, the person of who you were, who you were another in the past brought you to who you are now. It wasn't totally about your parents. And so you have to find a way to step up to your self-worth and say I you know I did do this.
yeah,
Get I don't know exactly what the key is going to be for you to get rid of the victimhood because that's what we're talking about.
yeah,
Woe is me, right. um there's a key for you that you're still searching for. For me, I stopped comparing myself to other people. I think age and just the fact that I got exhausted with
yeah,
comparing myself, and I just made a decision that I wasn't gonna be angry anymore. I
yeah,
was just gonna let it slough off of me. But it was a conscious recognition that yes, if I because I say this often, if I when I think back about the little girl that I was, the frightened, confused little girl that I was, who has at this point in her life been able to travel and do all this stuff by myself, I'm like, I don't, it's like I could never have imagined it. Um, because I I didn't I guess I just my world wasn't big then. I just was under the roof of my parents, and then when I got out, little things built and little things built. So I I think comparing yourself to other people is a death toll. Is a death note when you compare yourself to other people, and you're still working. So maybe it makes it a little harder for you because you have meetings to go to and all that kind of stuff where you're with, other colleagues. I'm a free bird. So I don't have to be around anybody that I don't want to be around. Um, but I did, but I had a young woman I met at a restaurant this weekend. Her name was actually Sophie. She was facing me eating by herself, and I was facing her. And we had a really good connection. She was probably in her 30s. She came from California to Ohio to invest in real estate. Her father encouraged her to do that. And we had this really good spiritual connection going. And then she said to me, she said, it's almost like it came out of your mouth. She said, what about anger? What about jealousy? What about all this stuff? Because I told her I was, really pretty content these days. And I said, it's not like it never comes up, but I've gone through so much. And somewhere along the line, I stopped saying, I don't care. I started saying, I don't care what other people think anymore. And that had a lot to do with when Austin and I were estranged because I just recognized that it was mostly my family I was worried about, what they thought of me, but mostly my kids. And then just like turning the page, Nalima, honest to God, it was like turning the page. I said, enough. I am not worrying about this anymore. I don't give a shit about what other people think. I know who I am. I know my weak points. I know the things I can work on if I want to. But I like who I am, and I don't care anymore what other people think. And I think somehow that's the key for you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
maybe in your writing you'll discover that maybe it was something somebody said, maybe somebody teased you, maybe it wasn't even your parents. But when you stop worrying about that statement about what other people think of me is none of my business. When you can really take that in, like you said, the door just hasn't the door the right you haven't found the right key yet.
yeah. So it doesn't happen very often. You are
Mm,
right. You are right. I have to take that insight. Actually, I'm day in and day out. I'm not thinking about that. But when it comes, like I feel kind of I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything for
yeah.
when say when somebody says I'm not taking action. It is not that I'm doing. I'm taking action every day. Hmm. I I do a lot every day. Like there is, if you make a list of what all needs to be done, I do it every day in, day out, for years together.
But do you do it, Nalima, because you want to do it, or do you do it because there's a big fat should? I should do this, otherwise people won't think of me as a good person, or I won't think of myself as a good person. I was so pissed off a couple years ago. I couldn't even figure out why I was pissed off. And so I sat, I must have written down 50 things, the smallest little thing. Like there's an itch on my ear. I wrote that down. And when I got done with it, what I recognized, I looked at the list and I said, Sophie, this list is, first of all, never going to go away. It's never going to end. And so, could you can you buy that? Can you be okay with the fact it is never going to end? And so, what if you and I are just okay with the fact that we are introverts and we do it anyway? So, I'm an
Yeah.
introvert. I'm an introvert. you're an introvert, at least at this moment in this dimension, we say we are. So
Yeah.
what? So what?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
next time you're in a big group, you're gonna step out and
Yeah.
be an introvert that talks in front of everybody. You just have
Hmm.
to you just have to do it. I think you just have to do it, and then it'll get more comfortable and more comfortable. Somebody sitting across from me at lunch, after going to this church, said to me, "Do you speak?" And I knew what he meant. And I just was teasing him, and I thought, "Do I speak?" And he said, "I mean, are you a speaker at church?" And without thinking twice, I said, "Oh yeah, sure." It's probably not my most favorite thing to do, but I know, and I know it has lots of possibilities because I'm already thinking about what am I going to talk about. So that comes from having in the past said, okay, I might be nervous, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then it gets easier and easier.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. When is your next group? When do you anticipate having a next group to talk in?
It is happening every day, Sophie, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 hours, 11 hour time to 1 p.m.
Okay.
And then again, Monday, 6 to 7, I'm on my way home when it happens. So I half
Uh-huh.
listen, I can hear half of it. The other
Okay.
half I cannot because of no connectivity.
Okay.
And
So
yeah,
what's what's the biggest fear? What's the worst thing? You tell me right now. What's the worst thing you can imagine happening in the course of that time frame? If you were in front of a bunch of people and you felt nervous about talking, what's the worst thing that you can imagine that could happen?
it is not about nervousness, Sophie. Actually, nothing kind of comes to my mind at that moment. Even if I'm feeling a lot, it doesn't come out. And the group is about sharing because, as you say, I'm thinking about what is the worst if I don't at all speak. That is
Yeah.
the way I'm thinking. Nothing actually. Only that might be when I'm sharing. It is the group discussion gets enriched about my experience. But if I am not contributing anything and I am getting into the what you can say the deep hole of I don't know, I get lost, then it makes no sense to anybody. So better I don't
So,
speak.
so it's not about the fear. You lose track of what you want to contribute.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. I actually get so much into something. I get flowed into the thought process and it goes I don't know 1,000 miles away from the entire topic.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you do you know in advance what the conversation is going to be about that day? Because what I was thinking is maybe you need a method to put your thoughts on paper beforehand so you won't forget what you're going to say.
I'll do that. I'll take that because that is why I am writing, and that is the same reason why I have devised this system also because people lose
Yeah,
track of whatever they
yeah.
are thinking. So I'm trying to do that. So be and when I write, it also takes me into somewhere which I didn't know it will come up.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So
When
yeah,
I want to have a serious conversation with Dean, he's the only one I do this with, really. When I want to have a serious conversation with him, I cannot tell you how many times I have written it out. And sometimes I even read it to him. And I don't care what he thinks about if I have to read it. I just say to him, I wrote it out because I didn't want to forget anything. Because in the emotion of it, in the excitement of it, in the fear of what he might say, in my own nervousness, I don't care that he knows that after 30, almost 30 years, but I would much rather read it off the page and make sure that I got everything I want to say to him than not do it. That's just a method I have to use, because if he starts talking and then we get off on another subject, just like you, I will totally lose what I wanted to say.
So actually, there is no particular topic. The topic
Yeah.
actually shapes up. It is basically of 3 points, Sophie. One,
Okay.
the first one is identity swap.
Okay.
The second, identity swap means the current me and the future me that I'm visualizing. The identity swap happens at the moment, and the identity can be anything. This week something, the next week something else, because
Okay.
everybody is transiting, no,
Yeah.
from here to somewhere else. So that is there. And the second is belief transformation in terms
Okay.
of toxic habit. That's the day number two. And the third is money breakthrough.
Money breakthrough. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
these are the three topics going on, and it happens every week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I have been into this discussion. This is the third third time. Yes, third time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I let you answer. Are you doing all of this because you want to, or you think you should do it?
No, no, I want to, because that is a practice, that will open up myself, because
Okay.
I'm blocking myself, I'm
Hmm.
block. That is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing that I feel all the time. That
Yeah.
because I need to open up. I don't know where I'm blocking myself. And once this flow happens, I can be a channel also, because I
Yeah.
already feel, I know myself to be a channel, because whenever people are getting any solution out of me, that is not exactly what I plan to do. No, I I I, I do not plan anything. So it happens. So if I am not conscious about myself so much, then it automatically flow.
Yeah. You're too.
Uh,
I think you're just too hard on yourself.
I think so.
I
I think
think
so.
you are. I mean, I know you. I've known you for how many years now? I never have the experience of you not being able to express yourself.
Now that is because of you, because the person in front of you, I am so very confident about you that you will understand everything that I say, and you are, because you have experienced so much, I have complete trust on you, and
Yeah.
that trust I cannot have of everybody. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah. There
That
must there must be a bigger, this is what Bashar always says. When people say, I don't know what my issue is, he goes, yes, you do. Then he says to them, there must be, you must get a bigger payoff. It must feel better to you to stand back in a group. It must still feel better to you to stand back in a group as opposed to coming forward, because he says we only do what makes us feel good. So there's still some bigger payoff for you from standing back.
I'm actually this is very funny that it is not that I don't speak.
Yeah.
I speak, I do speak, but
Yeah.
when I speak, the thought goes from somewhere to somewhere else. So I forget where I started
Oh,
and
what?
where.
Here. So what? Here, you don't go around telling people that. You tell them what you have. You don't tell them what you don't have.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
business
okay.
a business manager of mine years ago said, she gave me this example. They had a host for some senior event,
Hmm.
and one particular year they didn't have the same host, and
Hmm.
so the new host came out and started making all these excuses for what we didn't have.
Hmm.
And so Yvonne called her over and said, you tell them what we got, not what we ain't got. So you're going to have to stop thinking, you're going to have to be okay with the fact that you can't, you go away. You have to be okay with that somehow. Otherwise, and maybe as you're okay with it and you start, and it starts to be okay with you, then maybe you'll see something shift. But so what that it goes away? It's not like you said, it's not like you're not contributing. You are. You If you remembered everything, maybe nobody else would ever get a chance to talk.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, that is a shift, Sophie. I'll be okay with whatever I'm saying. In
Yeah.
any case, I'll be going to speak. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Let
Like, okay,
let myself open up
yeah,
and get with the flow.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you two laugh at yourself, and so maybe it's easier one on one because we've known one another for a while, and even though you know all these people in a group, for some reason it's a little more difficult to laugh at yourself in the group. So what? Because
Yeah.
guess what? Everybody else is thinking the same thing.
Yeah. 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 So, few people actually very introvert in two weeks back.
Yeah,
She when and that day the first time that I joined that discussion, she was talking about how she looked, and she
yeah,
looked that I don't look good, and
mm,
because she was expressing it that I do not look good, everybody else was telling, no, your hair looks good and you look good with your smile. In a day, the next day, she said, I'm looking different. I'm looking so much different. And I'm beautiful and I'm looking good and I'm feeling good also. And after that, she started expressing. She was not
yeah,
expressing. People also, the other people who have been there in this discussion for some time, they're
yeah,
saying they were not able to open up to her because she was not opening up. But
mm,
in no time, actually, she started saying, and it is so very easy. And that day, actually, we got to speak to each other. And I said,
mm-hmm,
did you say you are not looking good? You look so very good. She asked
uh-huh,
me, why do you say that? I was so very confused. I said, there's the same thing that somebody told me when I was
yeah.
a child, that you are the ugliest person in the world.
Oh,
Uh,
so that was the filter. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And for a greater part of my life, till I was 40 or 45, I thought I was ugly, you know. And
mm-hmm,
then, and even if the mirror says something, I won't believe because somebody I respected, my mother, she told me that I was not good looking.
yeah,
And after some time, then I tried telling her, yeah, you look fine. You look fine. And and you should be confident about it. Maybe you are not the prettiest person in the world, and that doesn't matter. But it
yeah,
is okay. It's
yeah, yeah.
okay.
You
Yeah,
have to be okay with how it is. You just got
yeah.
to be how it is.
Uh, so so that was it.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of things are opening up. Still,
Mm-hmm.
and when it comes to action, I'm an active person.
Yeah.
So what might be stopping is my energy, the way I do, and I do everything that I love.
Yeah.
I cannot do anything that I don't like.
Yeah.
So whatever comes to me, I first love it, then I start doing. So I find ways how to love it, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after some time, I forget that I didn't like it. I now like. So so that has been the way my mind operated so far. So that is it. Uh, but when it comes to, like, say, being extrovert, I'm not. I'm not. Like
So what? So what?
Yeah. So what? And
So what?
when it comes to speaking a lot, I don't speak a lot.
Yeah.
But
So what?
when I feel like I'm very like I would tell you on Friday, Sophie, this is very interesting. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
it was an annual meet of at my office. You know,
All right.
so I'm in an organization where people are starting to discover things which I had been knowing since 2008, you know,
Yeah.
about the sector itself. They
Yeah.
are there in that sector for say as many years as I have been, but I knew that because I had a mentor who had a
Yep.
very sharp intellect and very deep mindset,
Yep.
very deep thought process, and he had made us in that company to experiment with so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew many things which these people are have started discovering. So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened in this company, when I say something, I'm saying it, no, uh, something very, very strange to them. So they never appreciated what I said, but they actually realize the truth of it after some time.
Yeah.
So this has been a pattern, which is why they actually know by heart. They know that she is doing something very different, and she has a different thought process, but
Yeah.
they were not able to appreciate, kind of.
Yeah.
So what happened last year? We had one project in which we are developing an emergency health loan product. You know,
Okay. Okay.
so so far microfinance in India cannot give any emergency product. Means you need it because of health reason, and somebody cannot give it you instantly. But health is health. You have to get the money right now if you
Yeah.
have a health issue. That product is not available, so we are experimenting on that. So when
Okay.
we started experimenting, there are different stages, and those stages are extremely difficult. But I did it, no, in my way, because of that insight, I could
Mm-hmm.
do it. And people who were ex-chairman of very no NABARD, and NABARD is a bank in India which deals with agriculture, and
Yeah.
its ex-chairman was in the team, and he appreciated it a lot.
Yeah.
Because he appreciated, my team members started appreciating, because that person is saying she must be doing something great. You
You got
understand?
some. You got some. Yeah. You got some credibility.
So,
Yeah.
a Friday, it was an annual discussion, what we will be doing next year. So, another ex SIDB, SIDB means the industrial part, no, the micro enterprise thing,
Okay.
uh, that outfit.
Okay.
The ex chairman of it is in our board, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he happened to be there when I started my presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like glued to his chair, listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
He asked so many questions. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that discussion, after so many other presentations were happening, and because of time constraint, my presentation was only 2 3 points I could discuss, because that was so deep,
Okay.
and I had about 15 slides. Only I discussed 3 points. So he
Okay.
was very interested, and he then told to our boss that she is doing a very clear thing,
Mm-hmm.
and can she give her presentation to me? So our boss, he said, can you send him the presentation? I said, oh, yes. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
I sent it, and because the ex-chairman appreciated, now everybody appreciates me in the office. So
Yeah,
that
that's
that
the way it goes sometimes.
that happened. And
That's
today,
wonderful.
today it was like that was on Friday evening, and then our boss kind of asked me, "Can you explain that PPT in a report?" I said, yes, I can do that. So
Mm-hmm.
it was coming out very well. So he didn't know. Each time I went to field, I came back and I prepared a report and sent to everybody. Nobody read. Now he wants a report of it. So I said, as many times I went to field, that many reports I have written, and I have sent to you also.
Yeah,
So
timing,
yeah. So
timing, thing.
so
When
as yeah,
those people, the people that were in that meeting with you, who
yeah,
heard chairman ask you questions, you were building up your credibility with them.
yeah,
So they are learning that you may be quiet sometimes, and but that still means to them that you know what you're talking about. Some people might be jealous. Some people might not have been listening. It doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what they think doesn't matter. If you feel good about the fact that your chairman was asking you all that, then
Yeah.
take that surprise, and the next time, if that doesn't happen, so what? He already knows you've already built some credibility with him, and so good for you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So the thing is,
Mm,
whenever I'm saying something, because I'm coming from that experience, I'm saying something, and it has to be valid for that moment. But they they cannot take that. So I cannot do lot many things that I wanted to do. Suppose,
yeah.
for example, whatever I have spoken in that particular slide, I have been talking about this since a year. Uh, so, but nobody listened to it, and they were going here, there, all the ways. I give you an example. Microfinance in India.
Yeah.
Microfinance means small loans. Small
Right.
loans given to economically poor people, active
Yeah.
poor people,
Yes.
whom the bank doesn't give any loan, any money.
Yeah.
Now
I
that is, yeah,
understand the concept now. We've talked about it enough that I get it.
yeah. So now the main thing is the connect with the client, because there is no collateral, only the trust between two people makes the client repay the loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the most important is the your behavior towards that client, which makes her compelled and honored to pay back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So should we not focus on that behavior? How that behavior happens is respect. When it is transactional, nobody
Mm-hmm.
respects you because it is money, and
Mm-hmm.
because somebody has given money, the company money, of course,
Mm-hmm.
money, and she has utilized it and paying it back right now. That is transactional. No, there is no
Mm.
emotion involved, but we
Yeah.
can make emotion out there because we
Mm.
are careful, and we are caring about the client's growth.
Yeah.
That is an emotion that we can extend that client to, and it is not very difficult. We
Yeah.
just how much we know, we can just be asking her well-being, whether she is progressing well, whether
Mm-hmm.
she needs some other support. These are the
Mm,
two questions. Whether I am able to support or not, it doesn't matter. Just I have to ask, are you doing well? How are you progressing? Only these two questions.
okay.
And to do this, it doesn't take anything. And this is what I have been trying. And this person should feel proud about doing the service to that client.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens both ways. Unless he feels proud about whatever he is doing, he would
Mm-hmm.
not ask this question. It won't occur to him.
Yeah.
Now, where from it will start? It all will start with just a background orientation of the person saying that microfinance can do wonders to these clients,
Mm-hmm.
bringing well-being to her family, economic prosperity to her family, more education to that family, and that family will grow.
Yeah.
He will be a channel to the company's money going to that person and coming back, coming back for another person to take it.
Sure.
So every person is in charge of say 300 to 400 customers, such
Okay.
customers.
Okay.
So in a year or in his uh, as he grows in the uh, organization's ladder, he becomes in charge of say 1,000 customers as he grows up, and
Mm-hmm.
then 5,000, then 10,000, then 50,000, eventually 1 lakh or 2 lakh, whatever. Now, does he have the stories of all these starting from 300 customers? That is 300 stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of whom he has helped. Nobody has taught him to make a story of hero story of that client.
Okay.
And he is not oriented to feel like a hero when he helps somebody out that way.
Okay.
You get it, right?
Yeah.
So
Are you trying to change that? Are you trying to change that fact?
not change that fact, but it doesn't, this training is not there. This fellow doesn't feel the same way. The client doesn't feel the same way. And there is nothing of client connect happening.
That's
So
but how you know Nilima, that you can put things out there, but you can't make people feel a certain way. Everybody's got their own filters about who they are as people. You may have found one person that doesn't feel like you wish that they would, but that doesn't mean that the next person doesn't feel gratified by the work that they've done with all those 1,000 people after so many years. I don't know that you can, I don't think that's a circumstance you can control. You can put it out there, you can hope. It's just like us talking. You can hope that that history makes that person feel better about their job and what they have done for others, but you can't make them feel like that. Just
but
like I
but that
just
is
go.
my job. That is my job, Sophie. So now when I am not saying I would be 100% successful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm not as I don't hope to be even 20% successful, but I have to do 100% of the process to be done. Now
Well,
that
go ahead.
now that process also is not taken up as a valid solution. That is my complaint. Now, because this, how can anybody talk? Yeah, this fellow is just at 20, 21, 22 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
how can he have the wisdom to think so much? But that is the basis of microfinance business happening in India.
Are we
This,
are we talking about the person who gets the loans, or are we talking about the people that you work with who are helping other people get loans? Who is it that you, I'm a little bit confused. Is it the person, your colleague, that you are trying to make feel that way, or the person who gets the loan?
no, I am saying, say, we are an association, right?
Yeah.
Association of microfinance institutions.
Yeah.
So when something goes wrong in microfinance institutions, then we are responsible for that, finding a solution, right? So you get that, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Now, there is a problem of high attrition in microfinance, right?
High attrition, high attrition.
Attrition rate.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
leaving the microfinance institutions,
I
and
understand. Hi.
and, and sometimes there is a ordinance in some states against microfinance.
Oh,
Everybody understands microfinance is doing great, but why people are going and talking nonsense to the clients? They are wary of it, and they have found out some regulation against that behavior. In thousand or in 1 lakh, one person might be doing that, because not everybody is safe. But what the other so many people are not doing, they are uh, going, no, they are very sober, they are behaving okay, all right, following
mm-hmm.
all the rules. What is missing? The emotion is missing, which had to be the basic of microfinance business in India.
Who said, who says, tell me, who says emotion is the basis of microfinancing? Is that written down somewhere by your chairman?
No, it is
You?
not written, but it has to be social. It is a social business, you know.
Okay.
So it has to be, somebody has to see it as a social business.
Okay.
And when the loan is extended, the other person is benefiting, is our job to monitor. If I
Okay.
am, if I
Yeah,
am,
I understand
yeah,
that. I understand the
yeah.
monitoring.
So this is as simple as that. Why we are doing something is because of this. That is why it is accepted as
Mm-hmm.
as something,
Mm,
an activity in India. Otherwise, it is a money business, not to be allowed in India. So that is why it is allowed, and this is okay. But this basic thing now, some people have made it into business. Like they are like looking at numbers, how much loan has been given, how much is collected
yeah.
back, and how much profit they have generated. That part. There is other part also of how many people benefited out of
Yeah.
that loan, and how
Yeah.
many people have improved their life status, living
Mm-hmm.
status. That is another part. So one is business, the other part is the social well-being part. Now,
And how do you crunch all these numbers together? Do you, by going around asking those questions and then you prepare a report?
no,
How
no.
do you determine when it's working and when it's not?
So what happens? There are 4 bureaus across India. So all
Okay.
these institutions, whatever their numbers are, they need to upload into their websites,
Oh.
and where the aggregation happens.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how we know. Now, the numbers which, suppose you have given 100 rupees, and you are getting back 90 rupees, that means 9 rupees loss, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is called default, or principal at risk. They
Sure.
call it as PAR. Now
Yeah.
that those numbers are regularly monitored by those bureaus.
Yeah.
And we are supposed to take those numbers and uh, kind of circulate amongst people, that
Mhm.
these are the numbers happening, and whatever mitigation measures that you need to take, you take. So then
Yeah.
when we do that, the people who are there, they're saying that attrition level is very high. People are not coming to work in microfinance anymore because of this reason. And at the back of it, if you go to the very basis of what is happening, you'll see, suppose somebody comes and say, that fellow is not repaying. When I go to field, somebody is complaining that that fellow is not repaying. So I ask, so why she is not repaying? And they say, no, there is of course some health issues. Now, if there is health issue and she is an earning member, obviously she won't be able to pay. Yeah, Sophie, what happened? You are on mute.
My phone overheated again, just like last time.
Oh,
I got to
okay.
take it out of the, it was on the dashboard. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, when they complain, the basic of things is then I ask how much you know about that client.
Yeah.
They do you know 5 things about that client or any client? They do not know.
Yeah.
So they handle 300 clients at least. Out of 300 clients, they do not even know about one client.
Ooh.
5 things they do not know.
Mhm.
So, what will motivate them? What is the point A from which they are supposed to take the client to point B on a growth path?
Mhm.
Uh, why they are doing it? Suppose this client defaults, not able to pay. Do they
Yeah.
know any reason why she could have defaulted? Recently, uh, the emergency health loan product that I'm doing, one client wanted a loan about her health, and the institution, the microfinance institution they went to, reported that this client was a defaulter and she didn't pay her last loan.
Mhm.
Now we asked the microfinance, was she a willful defaulter? She didn't play by intention. They didn't pay by intention. They said yes, she is. Then we started exploring about why she didn't pay last time, and we came to know that there was a death of her milch animal, the cow
Okay.
or buffalo, which she had. Her business was about that.
Okay.
It has died, and her husband uh, faced an accident, after which he had lost 3 fingers.
Oh,
Now, can you imagine how can such a person will pay at that time?
yeah. Yeah.
So shit, but this information was not with the microfinance institution.
Sure.
So the culture is not there
Yeah.
of knowing about the client.
Yeah.
While microfinance is defined as the social business.
Mm-hmm.
It is for uplifting the economically active poor who are not bankable.
Sure.
So the basic thing, the fundamental thing is not understood here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wanted uh, this thing to be realized, and there has to be some training going on about the senior management, at least the
Sure.
CEO.
Yeah.
And nobody paid any attention to what I said till Friday.
Ah, so Friday the light bulb went on for that guy,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
good
yeah.
for you. It's
Yes,
taken a long time. It's taken a
lot
long
of
time.
time, lot of time. So,
Yeah.
how much time do I have for? This is just out one of those huge many numbers that I have to say, or no, people need to realize. So that is the thing. Yeah,
Well, if we believe that we have lots of dimensions and parallel universes, and everything's happening at the same time, you have an infinite amount of time.
yes.
Maybe that's a little feather, a little
Mm.
thing that you can put in your head. I
Yeah.
have an infinite amount of time.
Yes, I'll put that. I'll
Yeah,
put that in my mind.
that might take a little pressure. That might take a
Yes.
little pressure off of you. I
Yeah, yeah,
think a lot of this is that you're so hard on yourself. You want everything to, I understand that you want it to work. I understand that you've been working at it for years and years and years. And I get it.
yeah.
That's not so different than what I hear from people here. It's taken forever. It's taken forever. I've been working on this forever. You know, I get it. But we are grateful that he finally on Friday was paying attention, and you got him at the right place at the right time. That guy was really listening, and hopefully, he now will come to you, and maybe now it's time to develop that project. Maybe it wasn't time before.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm actually preparing a report on whatever I have found and
Mm-hmm.
whatever my insights were.
Yeah.
And because so much of negative publicity is going out there, so I have thousands of stories, positive stories.
Sure you
Uh,
do. Sure.
yes. So
and the fact and the fact that you are an introvert means you spend more time in your head with your process than some people do,
yeah,
because some people, their niche is better off somewhere else.
yeah,
But yours, that's why you've accumulated the wisdom that you could pass on in that meeting on Friday. Some people can't hold still long enough to glean that information, but you're one of the people that does.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, your picture went away. Your
Mhm.
vi- your your video went away. I can hear you, but I can there you go. Yeah, so your niche is 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 having accumulated part of who you created yourself to be.
Yeah,
Your parents didn't do this. Your
yeah,
parents gave you X, Y, and Z. You took X, Y, and Z and turned it into all those other things. And so you need to stand in the empowerment of what you created for yourself. And no matter how powerful or empowered we are, things don't always happen like we want them to happen. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'll
So
I'll
we
be
just
discovering
we just
more. Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Mm.
And you probably have some age on some of those people in that group, maybe even on the CEO, maybe even older than him. And the wisdom keepers we have to start honoring again, or continuing to honor the wisdom keepers, whether we're talking about us, whether we're talking about the Native Americans or the gurus there, who whoever it is. And it doesn't always go by age either, but when someone is wise, then we need to honor them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So good for you.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
You the writing process has certainly opened up a lot for you, and for me too. There's so many pieces floating around right now. I wrote the guy who did the book. I said, I know there's more that I want to tell you, but I cannot corral all these people, all these pieces.
Yeah.
I can't put all these pieces together right now. Trust that I will for you when the time is right. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but right now they're all. I have reservations on the pages. I told him that, and I don't know where that came. That came from the ethers. I said the pages are reserved. I just can't. I just can't get them all in one place yet.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Once
So
you download, those will connect after some
yes,
time.
yes. There's a piece of me that wants to go back to the monastery, or when I go back to the monastery next week, there is a program called Peacemakers, and the nuns said they wanted it to be women from 22 to 30. Well, what I know from my friend there, who is 85, is that as of last week, they only had one person register for the program. And I went to them in November when I was there, and I asked, if I told them I was interested, and they said, oh, we want to keep these young people together. They're going to stay and live in the monastery, and we want them to go forward as a group. Well, I don't have any ties anywhere. I can go if I want to. And so there's a part of me that when I go there next week, I'm going to say, I think you need an older person on you're all young people. I understand that, but I think you should let me in. There's part of me that wants to say that. And then there's part of me that's going, Sophie, I'm not so sure it's the best move for. Maybe you really do need to spend time in Alderson, more time than you've been. Because in my head, I'm going, oh, if I was in that program for a year, I could save a bunch of money because I wouldn't have to pay rent anywhere. And then I would have a down payment for my swimming spot. All this conversation is going on in my head. And then I thought, stop, stop. When you get there, you could have another conversation, but do not overload your mouth until you are sure that that's the best option for you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and it's tied to the guy's book, some of the things he said, tied to some of the people I met yesterday. That's what I'm saying. These pieces are just, it's like flying in from everywhere.
Yeah,
And I know not to start putting things in stone yet,
yeah,
uh, because I still want to be able to go to Colorado. If Anita calls me and says, I need your help with this sculpture, I think I want to do that. And
yeah.
I am not totally sure. I think I might be able to do both, but I'm not totally sure yet. So I just have to keep my mouth shut.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because
Yeah,
timing is not of the it's not time to make those kind of commitments yet. It might be in a couple weeks, but it's not right now. I can tell you that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but well, I'm pretty excited for both of us because just a very oh, you said to get into the program. I did fill out all the questions, but I don't know where to go to get the videos. All the videos you have made. Where do I find them?
Uh,
Is that what you mean,
Uh,
that I
no,
haven't done?
no. Uh, uh, when you let me check where
Oh,
you have gone
okay.
and how it has happened. Actually, you are the first person to take that. So
Yeah.
I'm yet to understand how it goes. So I'll
Okay.
find out and let you. No, no, I'll let you in into that program.
All
So
right.
I thought the moment you paid, it will take you straight to the program. Where
Uh,
it
yeah.
took you?
It took me to a couple questions. It asked for my address, and it took me to a couple questions about why I think I'm doing this, something like that. Just a couple basic questions. And then I saw no option for videos, or I didn't see you anywhere. So, I'm going to keep writing whether I see the videos or not.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. You have to see those two because for 90 days, no, unless you have those props coming up your way, maybe it will not excite you after 2 3 days or 1 week or so. No, that happens because
Well,
because because you are going into several places, right?
I saw a list, a description of what one day 1 through 7 is, the awakening, and then
Yeah, yeah,
day, yeah, that I
yeah,
copied. I saw that, but I didn't see any videos.
yeah. So I'll check where it took you,
All
and
right.
yeah, yeah. And then I'll let you know. I'll let you
Okay.
know in a mail. So
Okay.
that because it will not allow me to go inside through that process,
It-
you know.
yeah, I understand. Okay.
Uh,
Just check on, yeah, check on it. And if I need to push a certain button or go to a different
ma-
tab or something, just let me
maybe
know.
maybe you will have to go to the website, give
Okay.
your email, and then password maybe, and then it
Okay.
will allow you. But I'll 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 check with another
Okay.
person, and yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah,
Sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah. Yeah,
So
Sophie?
here,
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you one thing, and then if you got to go, that's cool. Here, Easter is coming, right? Our spring celebration, the Christian celebration of Jesus rising, dying on the cross and rising from the dead. So that's what Christians are called this time of year, Easter. If you're a pagan, a couple of my friends are pagan, and they celebrate what's called Imbolc, and that's
Okay.
that's spelled Imbolc. You may know what that is. Like at Halloween time in the fall, the word is Samhain. It's Samhain.
Okay.
So uh, so that's so every celebrating, we just call it different things.
Okay. Easter I
Yeah,
know. Good
yeah,
Friday and then Easter. That
right.
that I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in bulk is the nature, people who follow nature spirits,
Mm.
and it has to do with the solstices, the four different solstices. Imbolc, Samhain, Beltane. Beltane is another one of them. I think that might be Christmas. I'm not sure. There's four of them, and I forget. But some of my witchy friends and my pagan friends, um, I have to pay attention because I have enough of them now uh, that I need to remember not to, and they're oftentimes tied to the Greek gods and goddesses. There's usually one attached, like Saturnalia. Saturnalia is another one of them, I think, and that's tied to the planet Saturn for people who are into astrology. I mean, you know, there's as many divisions here as there is in India, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to celebrate Easter just because it's my favorite holiday, not because I declare myself as a Christian. I just declare myself as a follower and honorer of all things. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I just Easter was always fun, and people get Easter baskets, and it's all about rabbits and eggs and all that kind of stuff. In fact, last week, Saturday, I guess it was after we talked, I made Ukrainian eggs with like a wax resist, like the batiks, and it's like batik in India, only you do it on an egg and then you dip it in different colors of dye and it comes out really pretty. That was fun. Most of the people were Ukrainian and it was done, we did it at a Ukrainian museum. Did I send you that picture of
No,
those eggs? Oh,
no,
I'll have
no.
to send it to you. Yeah, it was fun. And
Mhm.
most of the people were Ukrainian, and some of them were speaking Ukrainian, and some of the younger ones were learning Ukrainian. Uh, I didn't do it for any political reason. I just saw that somebody was doing an online, doing a class. It wasn't online; it was in person, but it was fun.
Mm.
So I just came from a store where I bought little things to send to my grandkids um, for Easter for their Easter baskets. Um, Rebecca likes little tiny miniature squishy things, and
Mhm.
Rafe likes anything that squirts water at somebody. So and for Oliver, my little great grandchild, I bought him crayons that you use in the bathtub. So I'm in the parking lot of the post office. So I'm going to go in and talk and mail those after I get done talking to you.
Okay.
So yeah. So it's nice here. It's 41 degrees. I don't
Oh.
know what that would be in centigrade. It's a little cool, a little breezy, uh,
Mm.
cooler than people want, but the flowers are out and the daffodils are out and the spring trees are blooming. So it'll be nice by Easter, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it like there? What's it like there now?
It's already very hot, no,
Oh,
38
really?
degrees C centigrade.
Oh, wow.
And it's like not very sweaty, but no, I'm sweating a bit because I rushed back home today
Okay.
because the
Oh,
metro was not on, so I came by road.
yeah.
So maybe that is why I'm feeling a bit hot.
Yeah.
The AC is already on,
Okay.
and spring, as usual, is great, like the new blooms and all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
spring is very hot out here in
Is it?
India.
Uh, okay. Do you know what a daffodil is and a
Yes,
tulip?
yes,
Do you
yes.
have those? You have those blooming?
I don't have at home, but tulip, in Delhi, there is a park. The entire park is full of tulip.
Oh,
Uh,
so you know what those are. I bet
yeah,
that's beautiful.
yes, yes, beautiful, very beautiful. And
Yeah.
the president's palace, we call that as palace, president's place where she lives, the president
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
There is a huge garden. It is called the president's garden,
Yeah.
and it is open from last week of January to
Yeah.
March. So it is
Oh,
all blooming out there. The roses. There are a lot of roses out there,
oh,
and
you
yeah, yeah.
are you happy with your new president?
New president. It is not new. She is already 2.5 years into her term,
Oh, I
and
must be thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of some other country that just elected a woman. So I can't.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She is from my state only,
Oh,
but she doesn't have voice. That is the complaint. No, she
oh,
does everything. She doesn't open her mouth. Yeah.
oh. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I'm gonna let you go and go into the post office, and then in an probably another hour or so, Anita from Colorado and I are gonna catch up and talk about her sculpture and Eyes of Freedom and what's going on with her. I really haven't talked to her since I got back uh, from Eyes of Freedom being at the State House in Ohio for 2 weeks. So we'll do the same thing that you and I are doing, and just see how she's. We'll just trade and see how we're doing.
Okay.
So, all right, my dear, are you getting ready to go to sleep now?
In half an hour or so, yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
sleep well, and
yeah. Thank you.
thank you for catching up. I love you,
Yeah,
and I'll talk to you.
yeah.
All right.
See you
Bye
on
bye.
Monday, next Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Namaste.
Yeah, yeah.